Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Whoops. Hey, Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Hey.
So we're live. Hi.
Go. Just go.
Hi. Just roll it.
I was disabling HD. I'm sorry. Hey, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, and tonight we are live. So, of course, like anything with live programming, there are always hiccups. Sorry, I was trying to switch over. Anyway, but tonight, if you are listening to this episode later on, tonight we are going over our Oscar debate reaction episode, our third annual reaction episode. Eric, I know this was your idea 3 years ago. We started this idea with you. Are you excited to talk about this tonight? Because I am.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And the winner goes to fucking your boy here. This is a great award shows are always great for movies, and there's so many now. But there's got to be a winner, and it's always the Academy Awards. It's the top. It's what everyone wants to climb. You know, it's a big old mountain, and his name is Oscar.
Nice.
So, I mean, I know Ed's not a fan, though. He thinks otherwise.
First of all, I will not forget to mention the star of the movie during my acceptance speech. I will just put that right out there. The whole reason I will not forget to thank the main reason why the movie was created, who just won Best Picture.
Nice.
We'll just go out there.
So to kick off the show, for 4 years straight in college, freshman year to senior year, the Oscars was a big deal because I was a film student. So every year we had a huge Oscar party. It was a big deal. After I graduated college,
Yeah.
you know, kind of got out of the Oscars. And then my wife and I last night, we've been together for 10 years. So we went back to the 2009 Oscars, and Hurt Locker won for 2009 to kind of bring back, 10 years ago. I thought that was fun.
That was a good one. You know what? Actually, Hurt Locker had or has 2 Avengers in it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
does.
Yes, it does.
So we're going to talk about everything tonight, but Eric, I want you to help me out with the storyline here. This is the first time in a long time. Eric, the Oscars didn't have a host. What happened?
Well, there was a lot going on with the Academy this year, and they had done a whole lot of just mistakes from the start. I mean, you had almost from the beginning, didn't they, aside from the whole hosting thing, which that's a mess in itself, instead of them picking up the pieces, they just went no host this year, which is, you know what, fine. But they also wanted to add a category, most popular movie, right, this year.
Yeah.
And that got shot down pretty damn quick. They tried to do only sing 2 of the 5 songs originally onto its broadcast. Everyone's like, no, why would you not play all 5 if you're going to show all 5 of the movies and all 5 of everything else? Why only 2 of the best song? That's ridiculous. So that was quickly shot down. They had a few other things too, didn't they? Want to do a robot host at one time?
Yeah, there was talks of that, but that never. I don't think they were serious.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they were thinking pretty seriously about it.
And then the awards through the commercial breaks too. So that was whatever. But listen, what to expect this time around was, I think, what everyone expected: just lights, camera, action, and just pick it up right where you left off. Basically, it's almost like they cut right back from commercial break. You know.
Now, Eric, to go on that, since Ed is not an award or an Oscar fan, I found this to be a breath of fresh air. This was 36 minutes shorter than the year prior. Ed, did you find this to be a breath of fresh air? Let's go, let's go, let's go.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I loathe the Academy Awards. I loathe the Oscars event. I loathe
Ed,
it.
who are you wearing? Like, is that not even a?
First of all, now that's offensive. We can't. We're not allowed to ask who are you wearing now. That's why they had on E. They had the fucking glam bot.
Oh my god!
So you could just show. So you could just show. You could just walk up to it and show your outfit and stuff, and then
So basically,
the only person in the
is that what it is?
yeah, and the only person in the world who still does the Oscars now that Joan Rivers has passed. The only person in the world who's willing to work it is Ryan Seacrest, and he's afraid to ask people questions.
Yeah.
Like it from start to finish, I do not find this. I find this to be a breath of fart.
Oh,
You know what? So they're just trying to find something new here. And I appreciate what the Academy's doing because they really are opening up a lot. We had a Netflix movie that was nominated for a majority of the awards this year. We had a lot of foreign films in regular categories this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course there was a big, better mix of diversity. This and deservingly so, and noted it should have been a long time coming. But
we'll fight about that later.
yeah, we'll go with that later because I still feel that the Academy kind of is still playing it safe in trying to do their awards. I feel like they're trying to do this whole everyone gets one type of thing, and we'll go
Everybody
deeper.
gets a
into
participation trophy.
That's what I think is happening, and that's where I think that this is going to be shit. So that they need to find something else to if everyone's going to get one, if this is going to be a Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards thing, then they got to find something else. Because and the red carpet was not it because you had a lot of new people and you had a lot of stuttering and struggling. So
Yeah.
look at me being a fucking queen about this, huh?
I know, right? Before we get into our reactions on some of the categories and nominees and winners, the Kevin
Queen, by
Hart
the way,
thing.
it just clicked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, nice, Queen. Adam.
I didn't even know that I actually. Never mind. I
Nice.
interrupted.
I'm kind of pissed that Kevin Hart didn't do it because wasn't it? And guys, please correct me if I'm wrong because I just know a little bit. I know the Cliff Notes, but wasn't it that Kevin Hart, like in 2012 or something, did a stupid racist tweet, and they fired him?
What the fuck ever? Yeah, something like that. And he didn't apologize for it. Listen, I think, and I really hope. I know that they're all listening. The Academy. I know you're all subscribers. I know you're listening right now. You should take this suggestion and run with it. It's fucking gold, okay? You need to have a consistent bang opener, okay? Billy Crystal was it for so long. He did fucking great. You showed right now that any one of those three, Maya Rudolph, Tina Fey, or Amy Poehler, could easily just open it. You don't need to have them host. Open. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Open, do a quick set, do a banter, do a pander, move on. And it works. It worked. And then give everyone the same 2 minutes and then move it the fuck along. It works, and then throw in maybe one or two more from, I don't know, maybe a few more regulars or some up-and-comers. Keegan-Michael Key, for example. He was great. Like, a lot of people said that he should have hosted. But, like, having these little bits to highlight something is perfect. That's what they should do. They do it for all the other movies and all the nominees. So
why not? Let's go into
make a Kids Choice Award. Let's go. Someone get slimed, damn it.
let's go into a category that I like real quick. Let's go into our reactions of the best visual effects. The nominees for the best visual effects this year were Avengers: Infinity War, Christopher Robin, Ready Player One, Solo, a Star Wars movie, and First Man. And the winner was First Man. How do you guys feel about that? Ed, let's go with you first.
No, look, I mean, hands down, of all the movies, Ready Player One was literally entirely a visual effect. And you don't give it to them. Why?
That's a very good argument. And also Spielberg directed it, so that's shocking. Eric, what say you?
It's tough because they're still really don't like giving Marvel. You know, they feel like nominee was good enough for you, Marvel, but they don't want to. It's like they don't want to give it too much. Keep the dog on a leash a little bit, you know. And Christopher Robin, what the fuck, really? Visual effects for making Winnie the Pooh? Is that what happened there?
I actually watched that
Great
3
movie.
weeks ago with my wife for the first
Great movie.
time.
I absolutely love that movie.
The actual visuals were great. I mean, he was walking around behind the scenes. You know, he was walking around with this green teddy bear, green screen, and seeing it live on film, this looks great, actually. But I actually agree with Ed. Ready Player One was pretty much Avatar, right? The whole fucking thing was
Yeah.
Mhm.
a fucking
Well,
effect.
First Man was the realism, right? Was the, I guess was, I don't know.
Yeah, realism.
Then again, this might be the part of like kind of everybody gets one, where if you got more than I don't know, it seems like everyone that got buzzed kind of got one. It just, you know what I mean? Like even Black Klansman got one for adapted screenplay. You know, I really like that.
It wasn't that
movie.
Spike Lee's first ever.
I think that out of actually all the movies this year, that this one may have been more deserving to win Best Picture. But that's just me. I think I kind of agree with Spike Lee's statement. If you remember that he won, and not to keep it too fucking political here, but we'll go into what he said about the movies instead of that whole other garbage. That he said that Green Book was a bad vote or something like that, a bad choice, the wrong choice.
He actually walked. He was beginning to walk out of the theater when they announced the winner for Best Film, and they decided to come back.
Really?
Yeah, in protest.
Sure. I understand what he's saying, that it was kind of a safe movie, but I mean, and I can't disagree with him. You know?
We'll talk about that later tonight.
I enjoyed the movie though, but I just see it was very. Anyway, go on.
For best makeup and hairstyling, the winner went to Vice. I mean, why? Because Christian Bale ate a lot of hamburgers? I don't.
Yeah, you said that when we watched the movie, and it's absolutely true. I mean, what makeup did he do? He shaved? Did he shave his head, the top of his head?
It's just real
He got
like
fat.
makeup and hairstyling. Because what were the other? We were Border and Mary Queen of Scots. So, 'cause I'm
Mary
sure
Queen of Scots. Here's the funny thing. I'm
Sure
going to
we
watch
gotta
that
watch
movie
that
because Mary Queen of Scots stars Margot Robbie as Queen Elizabeth I. So I kind of want to see what Margot Robbie does as Queen Elizabeth I now.
I want to see what Margot Robbie does in anything.
And
there you go. Got you sold then.
I'm getting sick and tired of these Queen movies, you know, because the first one that was popular, like 10 years ago, was The Queen, you know, and then they like
Or
every
Elizabeth.
year. Yeah, Elizabeth. Like they do like these fucking like Queen Elizabeth movies.
It's
I'm kind of sick of it.
the period piece. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be like a Jane Austen, or like period pieces always seem to land in the Oscars
Now-
for some fucking reason, and they always get best costume.
They always get back costume. So, Eric, let's talk about the way a film looks. Let's talk about the best cinematography. The nominees were Cold War, The Favorite, Never Look Away, A Star is Born, and Roma. Eric, what say you? I mean, Roma won. Do you agree that Roma should have won best cinematography?
Yeah, I think that they did a fantastic job with that cinematography. I'm a fan of just a choreographed shot, I guess, and you can kind of see just the way that the shots and a lot of them were done. It was just well composed. I think. Now, I will have to say that I have not seen Never Look Away.
Neither.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think The Star Is Born was. I mean, they basically just kind of did, shots of like they look good. They were seen like stage shots, from like back, and those look really good too. So the way that they did those one pieces of traveling with them, those were always fun. But I feel like you could just walk with them in that one. Whereas Roma, you have to be like, okay, everyone, this is a rehearsed. We have to do this. Everyone has to do this, and I'm being the shot this way. I think it was a deserving win.
What about you, Ed? Do you agree with Roma winning best cinematography?
Well, I have to say I can't really form an opinion on it because of the movies that were nominated. The only one that I saw the whole way through was A Star Is Born. I tried to watch The Favorite, and we'll get into this later. I fell asleep. It was absolutely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And the fact that it was nominated for Best Fucking Picture proves the point I will make at the end of this fucking conversation. But
Which one? Best Actress.
that I can't. That's beside the point. But I can't speak intelligently about that. That's the only movie that I saw the whole way through.
Sure.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ed, best costume went to Black Panther against Mary Queen of Scots, the favorite, Mary Poppins, and the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Netflix movie.
I saw Mary Poppins Returns. I don't think this is one that Black Panther deserved. Mary Poppins had a great costume design. What do you say, Ed?
Literally, I will copy and paste what I just said. The only movie of those that I saw the whole way through was Black Panther, so it's the only one to which I can speak.
Fine, but do you think that Black Panther's costume design was great to win an Academy Award?
When we reviewed Black Panther, I had said they literally pulled off the costume off the comic book page. So yeah, I mean, it was exactly that. It wasn't. There was some deviation, sure, but I mean, again, I can't speak intelligently enough about the other movies to say yes or no.
Eric, do you have a dog in this fight?
I mean, costume is one of those where I really don't know how they determine the winner. I really, because it just seems like is it more of like the challenge of it, or I don't know, because
I mean, challenge would be a big one, right? Be like, if you're making a Civil War period piece and you have 1,000 extras, 500 Union, 500 Confederate, you got to get all those costumes, everything down right to the badges, right? So,
yeah,
I mean,
well, all right, well, Buster Scruggs is Western, so those are easy. Mary Poppins has a lot of hipster shit in it too, so that's probably easy to get. I guess I'm not complaining. Black Panther had amazing costumes in it, but I guess all these other movies blend together. They all seem kind of they're in the same area, same kind of
Right.
palette.
well, Bohemian Rhapsody wins its first 2 Oscars of the night. It won Best Sound Editing and Best Sound Mixing. Eric, you and I reviewed this one. Ed, you did too. But Eric, what do you feel about them winning sound editing and sound mixing? Pretty much a given.
Yeah, I said will tell you is exactly what I told Ed as I was watching it. It happened. I sat up, scoffed, and said they won a fucking award for pushing play. They
Yep.
exactly what it was. Listen, I get it that they had to line it up with the vroom, they had to make sure every strum kind of matched in the dun 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 dun. And I get it. You did great. I hope you enjoy your award.
My wife was looking at the nominations with me when we were watching this, and she goes, wait, A Quiet Place for Best Sound Editing? That's kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah, the movie's real fucking quiet. That is my point. This whole thing. This is my point to why I loathe these things.
Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead. Get this little tease out. Give us the trailer.
Literally exactly what Eric just said. They played Queen songs in a movie about Queen, and it's best sound editing. Guess who fucking edited the sound? Brian fucking May. That's who edited the sound 40 and 45 and 35 years ago. Right? That's who did this. Thank you, Brian May. You should have gotten the fucking Oscar because you fucking did it in these albums, and somebody just hit play.
I would say that for sound mixing, that would have been fun to do for maybe like Roma or maybe like A Star Is Born too, because those are kind of hard. There's a lot of background. There's a lot of crowd going on in both those movies,
Mm-hmm.
So to mix that in with your character on top, that's a lot of layering too. For editing, I would have picked First Man. Doing space like that, doing rocket noises and vacuum and air compression and that noise, I get props to that. You know what? It's funny that you say Quiet Place because they, obviously the sound was a character in that movie though, so I would get into that too.
My wife was just giggling about it. Quick question. Maybe you guys can correct me. Sound foliage, right? Like the stuff they make, like crumbling leaves together to put it into the movie,
Yeah.
Is that a part of sound mixing or should that be its own category? Does that count? Because that itself is an art.
Mixing, I guess.
Would that be mixing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving you an answer.
Okay, so it's mixing. So then I'm on Ed's team then when it comes to Bohemian Rhapsody with sound mixing, because really, I mean, like you look at First Man, you look at Roma, and hell, I mean, like you said, even A Star Is Born, you have to put in the sounds of the crowd and everything with it. So having Bohemian Rhapsody, which is just one big giant concert in a way, doesn't make sense then. That's weird. Let's go to something I know Ed's going to be so excited about. Best animated film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 1. They went up against Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Maria? Maria? Is that right? And Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ed, are you excited about that one?
I guess maybe excited is not the right word, but yeah, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was one of the best movies of the year. One of the best movies that we've in our show. And it should have actually been up for best fucking picture, but that's beside the point. So yeah, absolutely. Best animated feature, hands down. I mean, Incredibles 2 was really good, but it was more like nostalgic than it was good.
Sure.
I mean, Ralph Breaks the Internet. The first, Wreck-It Ralph was decent. Ralph Breaks the Internet, it's just another stupid sequel that they're gonna do.
Yep.
And then I didn't see the other two movies to talk about because I didn't care. So yeah, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was absolutely fantastic.
Now, before we go to Eric, I'm going to say that I thought Isle of Dogs or Incredibles 2 was going to win because Disney Pixar wins every year. And they had two Disney movies into this. You had Incredibles 2 and you had Wreck-It Ralph.
You got to remember
Both
though,
sequels.
you got to remember one of the things that we haven't talked about was who should have won versus who did win and why there's a difference.
I was waiting until we get to the bigger categories.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing. This is the first time where we could talk about it. The biggest reason Into the Spider-Verse won this, because it was the only place that it was nominated for a movie like this, was because it had an African-American lead role. It's the only reason it won.
Wow.
And this is about the Academy. This isn't a race thing. This is about the Academy and their inability to understand film.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that's a bold statement there.
Oh, I'll absolutely listen. I'll stand behind it. So this is not a thing of this is not about, you know, I want more white people in movies. That has nothing to do with it. I absolutely loved Into the Spider-Verse. We talked about it in our review. Go back into our archives. I absolutely loved the fact and what they did with that movie. But the only reason it won, 100% the only reason it won, nothing else mattered. It had a black lead character.
So Eric, I don't know if you want to take this or I. So I guess I can be the first wave, and you can be the sniper at the end.
Sure.
This is how you're wrong. Into the Spider-Verse was nominated for Best Animated Film because it was brilliant, not because
Absolutely.
they did not sit there and think, oh, okay, so there's going to be a computer animated black character in it. I mean, like there wasn't actually that doesn't make sense. It was visually stunning. It was put together well, and you can't really say best visual effects with the complete CGI movie compared to Ready Player One because I did have some real life, real world elements to it.
Yeah, right. That's a different story. Yeah.
So, but I don't think it has anything to do with a black character. Eric, do you want to snipe this one home?
Yeah,
Or?
I didn't okay, so I've seen all of them, and just like you said, Ralph Breaks the Internet, it really didn't even deserve to be nominated. And listen, animated feature film, they throw up a lot of fucking gimmies. Everyone listening, I still will boycott to this day. Lego Movie has nowhere fucking near, doesn't need to be anywhere near that shit. Okay? You ruined it. Because of Lego Movie being in this shit, you ruined it for everyone else. Look at the category here. Incredibles 2, fuck that movie. Ralph Breaks the Internet, doesn't need to be in there.
Isle of Dogs? Yeah, Isle of Dogs, I will agree. Needs to be in there.
I liked Isle of Dogs. But it played just like Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I like the stop motion ones. It was good. It was creative. It was Wes Anderson, very artistic, and so that was really cool. I like that. See, like there's different animation styles. The other two, Incredibles and Ralph, are all CGI. But like, I'm sorry, not like CGI, but like the Pixar kind of cartoony type of thing.
Yeah.
It just seems it's the same product, is what I'm trying to say. It's not like, but whereas we have all these other three movies are a different style of animation. that is
Yeah.
not mainstream style whatsoever. Spider-Man was like the cell type of thing, dog stop motion, where I kind of like the stroked painted. It's very good. So,
But while you're both right about everything about what y'all said, the movie, in my opinion, was one of the top 5 movies of the year. Okay, and it should have been. Obviously, it can't be up for Best Picture because it's an animated movie. I get that, but they don't award comic book movies. They don't do it. Black Panther got a couple of things because it was one of the biggest movies of all time, but they didn't. But can we all agree that Black Panther was not at all by far the best Marvel movie they've ever made?
No, I would agree with you on that, but
but my point is the only reason it got nominated was exactly what I just said. And you're gonna make me sound very Trumpian, but it's not. It's about the Academy and their
I'm gonna save you if you want me to.
Okay.
I really think that this, if I'm being completely honest, was a weak year for movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Valid point.
And so competition in the Academy wasn't where it needed to be because you had this weird kind of movement towards blockbuster coming again. These weird kind of big launches are coming back, but they're all gimmicky, they're all sequels, they're all franchise, and the Academy does not like that. But this is a year that needed to recognize it because there really was not really a whole lot coming out. I really liked BlacKkKlansman. I think that should have gotten a little bit more. Roma was better than I thought it was going to be. I was actually quite impressed with that. I liked that one. A Free Solo, one for documentary, and that one gave me anxiety like a motherfucker. If you guys haven't seen that,
Yeah. But okay, so Eric, I have a question about overall the Academy for you here, and then I'm going to ask that the same question. I'm disappointed, and I know why it didn't because of what it is. But this is where I am on Ed's team a little bit on how it's fucked up. It was legitimately a great fucking film.
yeah,
The visuals in it were great. And Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise was a great fucking actor. He did a good job. Why wasn't it in any of this? Eric, what do you think about that?
scary movies, man. Scary movies don't usually, or horror. I'm sorry, doesn't usually have a place in the Academy. Every once in a while, you'll have like the thriller. Is what they call it, a suspense thriller that might slip through. Silence of the Lambs comes to mind.
Alfred Hitchcock's the only exception.
But horror, most oftentimes than not, generally does not have a place in the Academy because they consider that to be niche, right? And that they say it to be just kind of like a.
But can't they recognize that Bill Skarsgård did a great job acting?
And here's the thing, and here's the point. The Academy and the Academy Awards are not about the movies. It's about the story they want you to think the movies are about, and it's about the politics of campaigning for these awards.
Yeah, that's the other part.
That's all it is.
And I think that would have had to have been last year, then, wouldn't it have?
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's right. Yeah.
given the release season, I think it should have been last year's award. That it would have been a late bid.
Yeah.
Look, the movies that win at the Academy Awards are the movie that spent the most money fluffing the balls of the Academy, or B, the movie that tells the story they think they want the culture to go towards.
It's the.
It's just that simple. That's why Spike Lee never wins, and Spike Lee is one of the greatest directors of all time. Mo Better Blues is one of the greatest films in the history of movies. And Spike Lee knows that he's a good director. His most recent stuff isn't that good. But she's do the right thing.
With this one though.
Yeah, finally, do the right thing. Won or should have won, right? Do the right thing was absolutely fantastic. They won't give it to Spike Lee because he's not the black guy they want in front of the world.
Oh, fuck that! Spike Lee sucks.
No, brother, he does not. Spike Lee tells the stories of tells legit stories.
I like Spike Lee, man. He
tells hood stories. He tells hood stories for people that grew up in the hood. And I grew up in the hood, man. I didn't grow up in New York. I didn't grow up in Detroit. All right, but I grew up in the hood, man. It just is what it is. And he tells stories of people that I kind of know.
Terrible director.
To each their own.
Terrible director.
You don't have to like him, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm with that on that one.
Speaking of Black Klansman, Black Klansman won Best Adapted Screenplay. They went up against The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Can You Ever Forgive Me? If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star Is Born. Eric, do you like Black Klansman winning here for Best Adapted Screenplay?
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever. It's usually Best Adapted Screenplay. I had thought had been more so like best movie that's a book, or best biography. But it's basically kind of what it is, and that's basically what we have. We have A Star Is Born, which is just a repeat of an older story. You have, let's see, 2 different books, and then you have, I guess Black Klansman is not necessarily a book. Isn't it just a biography, or I don't know?
It's based on a book by Ron Stallworth, so I mean,
Yeah. Well, then you have books. You have biographies and books. Then just basically, it's kind of what it is. You know, which one's the better one?
And think about it, like A Star Is Born is an adapted screenplay from 2 movies that were already made.
From 4?
I thought it was 2.
I think this is the 5th one in its run.
The original one was in the 30s.
I only knew 2. I only know of 2. So how can you nominate somebody who took a screenplay and wrote another screenplay?
Because Gaga is in it.
I mean, I love Lady Gaga. She should have won Best Supporting Actress, or Best Actress, hands down. But
she got a shout out at the. She was the Best Actress. Olivia Colman. Her last words were Lady Gaga for some reason.
Best Supporting Actress. The nominees were Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk, Amy Adams in Vice, Marina Di Tavara for Roma, Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz both for The Favorite. Regina King wins If Beale Street Could Talk. I love the film. She was the highlight of the film. She was the star of the film, I thought. But very good movie. I thought she deserved it. But Amy Adams did a good job, though, too, in Vice. Eric, what say you on that?
I'm not going to disagree with Regina King at all. I think she's awesome. I just like, I don't know, everything that she's done. I've always been kind of a fan. She's solid. So, great, congratulations. I think she's great. As far as everyone else, I mean, like, Emma Stone's already got one. Rachel Weisz is already, like, isn't she married? She's still with Darren? No, she split with Aronofsky, right? But she's already,
a long time ago.
I mean, she's already, she's well. And Amy Adams has already got one, right? Everyone's fine.
Yeah.
So,
and Regina King's deserved one before and hasn't gotten anything. So she's earned it.
And I was about to say that when it comes to it, like, I'd say usually you're a sure winner when you are up for the Gimme Award or the Thank You Award, rather, or something like that, whatever I'd like to call it, where, after you doing it so many years, like how Leo got one for
Revenant.
The Revenant. Yeah, we're just like, okay, listen, the Gimme Award. Yeah, we need to give you one now. I think that she contributed enough, and then this was up. Like, it was her time. She was in a good movie. She was in time for it, and it just aligned for her kill shot at the Oscars. Everyone else was just kind of like, because they already got one. They already had their time in the light. Regina's, it was her time yesterday.
Eric,
so,
I'm gonna murder this name, so you're just gonna have to tell me who won Best Supporting Actor.
Mahershala
Ali.
Yep, Mahershala Ali. Great performance. Absolutely great performance.
It's his second Oscar.
I actually figured they should have switched him and Viggo. Viggo, I felt, was more the supporting character in the movie, but maybe not, I guess. I don't know. Definitely great performance. One of the best actors going in Hollywood right now, 100%. And the dude rocked that role. Seriously, he rocked it.
I'm going to argue with both of you, and I'm going to say that Sam Elliott should have won that category there.
The Marlboro Man?
Sam Elliott was great in A Star Is Born. We'll talk about that movie as the episode goes on. But Sam Elliott was damn near perfect in that role. Great supporting character. He should have won that one.
Sure.
That's my opinion.
Let's see. He won. He's nominated. Did he win anything? Second place nominated. For Justified? No. I'm looking up to see if he won any Academy Awards. It looks like he has not. Sam Elliott would have been due for a Gimme Award too.
Yeah.
I would think that Sam Elliott has not won anything.
Nope.
I thought he was great. For Best Actress, Eric, give us a list. Who was nominated? Who won for Best Actress?
For the best, let me scroll up here. For
Best Actress here.
It's actually not in the top. What the hell?
Who are you looking for? Best Actress?
Yep.
Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman, right?
Yep.
What the hell?
Yep.
I just had it. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, Olivia Colman. She won for The Favorite. Lady Gaga, who should have fucking won, or even Melissa McCarthy or Glenn Close could have won. But like you said, and we'll get into this a little bit later. I already started. Another, Lady Gaga deserved it. Melissa McCarthy deserved it. Glenn Close, they wouldn't have given it to. Olivia Colman, they gave her the award.
Very surprising. This is a woman who had done British comedy. She was in Hot Fuzz, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a few other shows that I can't think of right now. But yeah, she was a comedian in the UK, and here she is, winning an award. And keep this in mind: it's like there was no there's no white man that won anything this year. Or I mean, in the top 4, actress was Regina King. Actress, she's from the UK. Mahershala Ali, he's not a white man, and neither is Rami Malek. He's Egyptian.
And not that there's anything wrong with the best performances winning, regardless of who they are or
It's
their
nice to see
background.
it. Finally, it's just like this is how it should be. The most deserving. I don't know about the Olivia Colman though, but
No. I'm actually on Ed's team on this one right here. Lady Gaga was robbed. Her performance was absolutely stunning in A Star Is Born. I fell in love with her when she first came out as a musician. My wife and I are actually fans of her, and I fell in love with her acting when we saw her in American Horror Story. She was the Countess in season 5, American Horror Story Hotel.
She was brilliant. She was absolutely brilliant.
She also played a witch in the 6th season of American Horror Story Roanoke. She was robbed. Her performance was brilliant.
I will say to the favor of all of the big 4 categories, actor, actress, leading support, that as I go over this and look at all the nominees again, every one of these nominees seems very deserving of the award. It looks like steep competition on all parts, and so it's kind of hard to be upset with just when you are held in such high esteem with everyone else. Like these are really good. Like these are trophy winners. Like all these people, are at the top of their game right now. Maybe not Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Well, but the dude. Listen, if we're gonna talk about Viggo Mortensen in as best actor, I'm not saying he should have won, but that dude literally was not at all himself whatsoever. Like you ever listen to that dude talk? That dude went from Lord of the Rings, like who he normally is, I guess when he talks. He turned into my grandpa.
He turned into
For
the
that
Jersey
movie.
boy. Hey,
He turned into
Tony Lip.
He turned into my grandpa, and I couldn't have been more excited to see his performance in Green Book. Seriously.
Okay, well, let's talk about Best Actor. Rami or Rami? Rami Malek?
Sure.
Remy, I think. Whatever.
Rami Malek won for his portrayal as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. He was up against Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, William Dafoe, and Viggo Mortensen. I am torn on this one. When I saw, my wife and I were talking about it. When I saw Bohemian Rhapsody in theaters, I turned to her and said, he's going to win the Oscar for Best Actor. I didn't see A Star Is Born yet at that time. God, Bradley Cooper was fucking brilliant, though.
Well, here's the thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I don't know what to do. I don't know where my decision lies. It's like Christian Bale doesn't deserve it because I said for a billion times that if I swear to God, you guys get $1 for every time I see it. He just ate a bunch of Big Macs. I mean, that's That's all he did. That doesn't give you the greatest actor. But fucking Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury is memorizing. But then Bradley Cooper's performance as just a down and out rock and roll country star was heartbreaking. I don't know who out of those two would have. God, it's a hard decision.
Well, and here's the thing. It all depends on what your thoughts are on the following question. If you're an actor, does it count if you're doing an impersonation?
I mean, that's what acting is in a way, right?
But it depends on the school of thought, right? I'm torn. Like Rami Malek did an impersonation.
4 people in this category are impersonating an actual person. You have Rami Malek doing Freddie Mercury. You have Christian Bale doing Dick Cheney. Willem Dafoe doing Vincent Van Gogh, right? And then Viggo Mortensen doing Tony Lip, who is the real character.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. Like if you're of the school of thought, I'm not saying yes or no in either direction. If you're of the school of thought that doing an impersonation is the same as acting, then in my opinion, Rami Malek did the best job.
I mean, like, you know what? On that right there, if you're going to say impersonation on that, I'm not saying that's what you agree. I'm just saying that.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just saying if you say it's so, then then A. If not, then B.
Well, then the Oscar for Best Actor of the Year should go to Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump. I mean,
he's doing a very good impersonation, a fantastic impersonation.
Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer.
She was amazing.
Yeah, but this is about movies. We've already listened. This is movies. That's.
I know, but see, that's me answering that question. It's like now I'm going to say definitely that I love Bohemian Rhapsody. It's really great. What a great performance. But Bradley Cooper created this character. This guy doesn't exist. So that's why I really dug it more. He had more imagination. All Malek had to do was watch hundreds of hours of Queen videos and just kind of mimic the performance, right? Malek thinged Freddie Mercury, right?
He has to become Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, he has to become Freddie.
Darling,
yeah.
But at the same time, because Bradley Cooper created the character and directed himself, does that really mean he was doing any acting because he was just being the thing he created as opposed to who somebody else created?
Yeah, valid.
Like he just created a persona. He wrote a movie from the persona or perspective of the persona, and then directed that same persona.
Well, since you just said the name director, let's get into the last two here. Best Director of the Year, it was Spike Lee for BlacKkKlansman, Powell Polinsky for Cold War. I'm not. Jesus Christ!
Just say the winner, dude.
Yeah, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. I like Alfonso Cuarón. I like majority of his films.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his films too. I like City of Men or Children of Men.
Great movie, great fucking movie. One of my all-time favorite sneaky movies is Y Tu Mamá También.
There you go.
I loved that fucking movie. I did not see Roma, so I'm yet to see it. So I feel terrible that I didn't watch the guy who won Best Director, who's directed movies I absolutely love.
I recommend you watch it. I really do. It's on Netflix, and it really surprised me. I kind of eye rolled because I was like, what the fuck, But everyone's talking about it, and I was like, all right, well, I'll have to watch it. And sometimes you just have to force yourself to watch something and just, that's how it was with last year with Call Me By Your Name. And it's just like, Jesus, well, it's, whatever. Brokeback was a good watch. Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Alfonso Cuarón also arguably made the greatest Harry Potter movie of all time, right? Prisoner of Azkaban.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and did Gravity. I mean, the dude's a worker. The dude is legit.
Yeah, he knows what's going on.
All right, let's get into the last award before we go on to our rants. The nominees for Best Picture were Green Book, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. The winner, with Jordan steaming pile of shit with flies on it, was The Green Book. Absolutely.
Wow. I mean,
dog
like,
shit.
whoa, jeez, like,
Dog shit.
I still enjoyed the movie. You don't say it's a dog shit movie.
I'm not
like-
saying it's a dog shit movie. I'm saying that,
The,
and
the dog shit decision there.
yeah, I've been saving this for the whole episode. I'm just gonna say my piece now. A Star is Born is perhaps one of the greatest films I have seen in the past 10 years.
Whoa, okay.
And I'm not exaggerating. Today, I made a list of all my favorite films in the past decade, of the newest films that came out in the past decade, and A Star is Born was amazing. I have never seen a chemistry between a male and a female lead that were so good together on screen since Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams in The Notebook.
Whoa, wait a minute, buddy. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is another one, too, that you mentioned right there, right?
Oh, Eric, you're 100% right. Jordan, you're off your
Actually
fucking
led
rocker,
to
as per you.
them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is what's happening to Gaga and Cooper, because I swear to God they're fucking. The movie was
Oh,
fucking.
tell me they're not.
Oh yeah, the movie was fucking great. The movie, A Star Is Born, should have won Film of the Year. It definitely took its time in the beginning to get you to know the characters, but it's so heartbreaking. And Lady Gaga is so charming, and so is actually Bradley Cooper, because you don't feel disgusted by him and his choices like you should. You know, you actually feel sorry and you want to see him succeed. And it's just such a great film that I am so upset that it did not win. That's my opinion. Star is Born, the greatest film of the year. That's my opinion. Eric, how about you? How do you feel about Green Book? Because you and I did an episode about Green Book.
I enjoyed Green Book. That's fine. I said before at the beginning of the episode that I feel like it was a safe pick. Like them to just be like, listen, you're all great, but fucking Green Book, just because everyone's gonna go just exactly how I'm acting now. They go, that's good. All right, whatever. We'll fucking, like all right. It's kind of, I don't know. It's a roll. It's a shrug of a win. It's basically what that was. I think that I didn't think it was gonna be Black Panther. I kind of did. I felt like it was gonna be some sort of big movement. I would have thought Black Klansman. I thought that would have been really a good one. I really enjoyed that movie. Or A Star is Born. That would have been predictable as well too. But Green Book is safe, and I think, you know what I mean. Like, it's like when the game ends in a tie.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way I can say it. Like that's what
Nice.
happened, is that it ended in a tie, and it was just kind of like, that's all right. It's almost, kind of just a vanilla ending.
Ed, what about you?
All right, so I'm going to wrap for a little bit on this one, because this is the point that I've been trying to make this whole episode. So Green Book was a fantastic movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. I mean, I was in it from moment one. I loved every second of that movie. But Jordan's also 100% right. Like, if you should feel like a movie's design is supposed to make you feel a certain way, and when you don't feel that certain way, there's one of two reasons. Number one, because the filmmaker didn't want you to hate that guy or love that guy, or they weren't able to make you love or hate that guy. So Bradley Cooper made you love the character you're supposed to hate. And you felt, when he killed himself, you felt like legitimately he did it because he loved that girl so much he could not live without her, and the only way that he could make her career go was to kill himself. And you loved him for it. That's the beauty of film. Green Book is, like you said, it's the safe movie. And the reason it won is because it had an old racist dago from New York who all of a sudden meets a black guy and, racism dead. All you need to do is just meet a black person. You're not going to be racist. Right? Vice was only nominated because the liberals in California hate Dick Cheney. And I'm a registered Democrat, and I'm saying this. They only did it because they hate on Dick Cheney. Bohemian Rhapsody was a good movie, but it wasn't great. Didn't see Black Klansman, can't speak to that. Black Panther was a great movie. I don't know that it deserved to be on there, but I can't think of any other movie that I would add in there that I saw this past year that, with the exception of Into the Spider-Verse. But this whole thing is exactly what's wrong with the Academy. Because you got a movie like The Favorite, which is absolutely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's just like the movie the dude made the previous year, fucking The Lobster, which was also nominated, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Lobster not nominated?
Continue.
But anyway, so like they pick movies that tell you the story they think the culture of America needs to hear. We can all agree, and we've said this several times, there have been hundreds, if not dozens, if not hundreds of Gimme Awards. Not because they did the best job they've ever done, but because we fucked up. We forgot to give what's his name? The fucking director. Now I lost my train of thought.
Scorsese.
Yeah, Scorsese for the 10 great movies you made, and we're going to give it to you for the worst movie you've ever made. Leonardo DiCaprio should have gotten it for Titanic. That's one of the greatest acting performances of all time. We're going to give it to you for The Revenant because we owe you an award. You can't owe somebody a fucking award. Like, they just want to give you one to say you have one. It's bullshit. Everything having to do with the Oscars is a dog and pony show that is the worst of America, 100% all in. It's all politics, and it's all politics about the money you spend. It's not about the performance you give or the things that you've done to earn it. It's about how much money and how well can you lobby to get this. And then they just give people things who don't necessarily deserve it.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. To close out the show on that, I'm not disagreeing with the statement. My biggest gripe with the Oscars is that they have films that are nominated for best films that nobody has ever heard of before. And that's always been annoying to me. Eric, do you have a dog in this fight? No?
Oh, I was on mute. For them to what? For them to nominate for movies
Then
that you've
to
never heard of
nominate
before?
Yeah, just like, really? Who has heard of, not this year, but there was years prior before. It's like, who heard of that movie?
Well, no,
You know?
I guess you could say, for example, like The Lobster, which was nominated, by the way, it looks like last year, even though it was made in 2015. But yeah, and I was also looking up Leo too because there's a lot of other movies he should have been nominated for, or that he should have won for, that he never did, like Wolf of Wall Street or Blood Diamond or The Aviator. So just saying, I had to like get some fact checks on that one. Anyway, but yeah, I understand what you mean. But we had some of those. Like, there's always going to be one or two, but they need to appeal. I think this is where also they need to kind of adjust these, but they need to appeal to more of the mainstream audience. And so the movies that they nominate need to ring some sort of bell with people, and then maybe they could sneak in like one or two more, like The Favorite or like The Lobster, or some other movies like that maybe you have not heard of that would encourage you to go see it. That's kind of like a networking idea. That's what the Academy does. Where like if you've seen one movie, like let's say Black Panther, then you heard it was nominated. You have to look up to see what else is not. Oh, I love Black Panther. Well, what else is it going up against? These movies. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll check out these movies to kind of see what's going on. Like that's what this is about,
Yeah, I agree. All right, so
fuck that.
So I'm not trying to make this episode longer, but I'm going to make this short and sweet for us. I want to do this. This is a new tradition here at Movie Guys Podcast. We know we have two traditions. We always have our yearly anniversary show, and we always have our annual Oscar reaction show. But tonight, starting from every year on, at the end of our Oscar reaction show, we're going to talk about, real quick, the Razzies.
There you go.
The reason why I want to talk about the Razzies is the Razzies already happened, and here are some of the nominations here, okay? So, for the worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel category, it goes to Robin Hood, The Meg, Death Wish, Death of a Nation, or Holmes and Watson, and Holmes and Watson won that category. For worst screen combo, Donald Trump and his self-protruding pretentiousness won in that one, guys. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the big ones here. The worst supporting actress was, see, now this is funny. This is ridiculous. Kellyanne Conway for Fahrenheit 11/9. She won worst supporting actress. Really? Against the 50 Shades of Grey chick? Really? Okay. Supporting actor was John C. Reilly for Holmes and Watson.
Oh,
And-
shame. Well,
And he was going up against Ludacris and Show Dogs, Jamie Foxx and Robin Hood, Joe McHale and Happy Time Murders, which I agree. And Eric, you would agree in this one. Justice Smith for Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom.
yeah, sure.
The worst
Anyone associated with that movie.
right? The worst actress of the year. The nominees were Jennifer Gardner for Peppermint, Amber Heard for London Fields, Helen Mirren for Winchester,
Oh,
Amanda-
what?
Amanda Seyfried for The Clapper, and Melissa McCarthy for The Happy Time Murders. And Melissa McCarthy won Worst Actress of the Year for The Happy Time Murders.
Oh,
I think
see?
we can agree there.
There you go. That means
she's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Worst Actor of the Year nominees were Bruce Willis for Death Wish, John Travolta for Gotti, Will Ferrell for Holmes and Watson, Johnny Depp, his voice only for Sherlock Gnomes, and Donald Trump. Donald Trump won Worst Actor of the Year.
Well, this is a
Which defeats the purpose. Fucking John
Yeah,
Gotti.
really, this is
John
silly,
Travolta
man.
is John Gotti was
Yeah.
absolutely terrible.
I am not liking the Razzies right now because it's political. Fuck this shit.
yeah.
Worst last two. Worst director. Ethan Coen for Holmes and Watson. The Gotti film 50 Shades of Grey, Happy Time Murders in Winchester. Eden Coen won for worst director for Holmes and Watson. And worst picture of the year, boys. The nominees are Winchester, Robin Hood, The Happy Time Murders, Gotti, and Holmes and Watson. Eric, who won worst film of the year?
Probably Holmes and Watson, right?
There we go. Holmes and Watson won
Yes.
worst film. How can that win worst film of the year when The Happy Time Murders was a billion times worse? But all right.
Apparently it
Well, we
was
didn't
shit.
review Holmes and Watson. We did review the Happy Time Murders. Go back in our archives and take a peek at that.
Yeah.
Take a
All
look.
right. Well, that was fun to kind of look at the best according to the Academy and the worst with the Razzies. But Eric and Ed, thank you so much for joining me for this most recent episode for our annual Oscar reaction episode. We will be back next week, kickstarting off with an old movie that no three of us have ever seen, but have heard of. Kicking off our two-part Kick-Ass Chick series / MCU universe, leading up to Captain Marvel. Next week, we'll be bringing you Tank Girl.
Pretty pumped about that one.
Tank Girl, considered one of the worst films of all time, leading up to Captain Marvel in just 2 weeks from now. So, I mean, the reason why we're doing this, fans, and I wanted to say this on air, is because we don't got much to choose from. I mean, we looked at the list. We got Supergirl. You got Wonder Woman. We wanted something a little bit different, right? 'Cause-
We did Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and plus we did Wonder Woman. So, I mean, what can we really do? Right, Eric? I mean,
The
there's
new
nothing-
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, like, we couldn't really do anything. So Tank Girl is going to be our little review for this small little film. This will be interesting. I'm excited to see this. I've never seen it. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and make sure to check us out on Facebook and on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. Thank you so much. Have a good night.